Hey players, it's time to grab your tea and have a seat. Let's discuss politics, crime, celebrity gossip, investigative reporting. Welcome to The Real Tea with Double D on GSMC Podcasting Network, where I am black and the news is always petty as hell, but it's accurate.
Hey players, welcome to a brand new episode of The Real Tea with Double D. Of course, I am Double D and we are on the GSMC Podcasting Network. So excited to be with you all tonight to record a brand new episode, baby. And I'm going to tell you, this tea is so piping hot tonight. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to unpack. And I must say, honey, that tea that I just dropped right before this video, well, it was like a few hours ago. Meathead Maddie, I declare, honey, what a fucking disgrace. Players, I hope that y'all have had a good week, y'all. I really hope that y'all have. I'm going to tell you something. I'm feeling some type of way because this week feels like it's barely going through. Like, I can't believe we just now on hump day. The way that it's been going, I guess it's the Supreme Court and the Roe V Wade and that kind of dominating the news. I guess it just feels like it's just going by super duper slow, like a turtle, honey. I mean, honestly, I feel like it's Friday already. I declare, honey, what a freaking disgrace. So first things first, I want to say hello to everybody out there in YouTube and podcasting world and Facebook. How are you all doing tonight? So excited that you all are here to record this brand new episode with me. Of course, it's routine. You guys know that, of course, I'm recording this episode for the podcasters. And if you all already know that I can't interact with you the way that I would love to, but I just want to say, hey, how you doing? Thank you for being here. I see you, appreciate you, and thank you for joining me. Now, honey, let's go ahead and talk about it. Of course, we know sponsorships are back. So we got a brand new sponsor tonight that will be sponsoring The Real Tea with Double D, honey. And we must talk about www.melaningaya.com. This is a soap company, honey. And when I tell you they have some nice soaps made with all natural ingredients, some beautiful looking soaps. I ordered me one, but I have not received my soap yet. And I was praying that it would get here before today, but I didn't order it until last Thursday. So, and you know how this snail mail is. So it hasn't made it here yet, y'all, but I want y'all to take a look at Melanin Gaia and what she has for us today. Baby, I'm going to tell you, I think y'all really going to like this. Let me make sure I got the video. There we go.
At Melanin Gaia, we create handmade soaps made with all natural ingredients that are great for our skin. Our soaps are made with skin-nourishing ingredients like coconut oil, shea butter, and other plant-based oils. We make soaps with ingredients that you can pronounce. All of our products can be found at www.melaningaya.com. We are also here to answer any questions you may have about our products. So head on over to www.melaningaya.com and place your order today. We restock our soaps on the second and last Tuesday of every month. You can also sign up for updates on our website as well. Again, that is www.melaningaya.com.
Wonderful. Melaningaya.com. That is www.melanin. That's MELANINGAIA. Melaningaya.com. And she has some beautiful soaps over there. Her name is Ebony. She is absolutely wonderful, very easy and sweet to work with. And I'm going to tell you, like I said, I ordered that soap on Thursday. It hasn't quite made it here yet, but I think it's scheduled to be here tomorrow. So I'll be very excited to get it. And I'm going to give you guys an update on this soap on the next episode to let you know how it's working for me. But I can guarantee you, one of my friends has some, and CB, and she let me know that it smells wonderful, it feels wonderful, healing. It's already started working wonders for her skin. So you guys make sure you go over to www.melaningaya.com and check out some of Ebony's soap. I guarantee you're going to be very excited and surprised to see all the different selections that she has. Now, honey, y'all know what time it is. Let's go ahead and get to the tea. I declare, honey, what a freaking disgrace. The leak in the Supreme Court, that is first on the agenda tonight. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, but I will tell you that it is very disappointing to see that there was a leak in the Supreme Court. I'm not going to act all shocked and dismayed and have some fake ass Republican outrage like the Republicans seem to be having. And also Chief Justice Roberts, who said it was an egregious act on the court for there to be a leak. They're actually thinking that it was one of the law clerks that may have possibly leaked this draft because they do have access to those drafts. So they're thinking that it's one of them, and they're going to, they have launched an investigation into the actual source of this leak. I tell you, it's definitely going to wake some people up for this leak to happen. Not like we didn't expect for them to come back with a ruling in June that they were going to overturn Roe v. Wade. I mean, look at the makeup of the court. No one should actually be surprised by what's going on here, but it's still just kind of a little bit of a shock to the system to see something like this in writing. I can understand everyone's sentiments and just being so upset about this. And one of the main people that has been upset about this is Elizabeth Warren. And she had a lot to say on the day that this information broke. And Justice Roberts actually confirmed that this was, confirmed that this was 100% accurate and it was true. So let's take a listen to Elizabeth Warren.
How are you feeling? I am angry.
Angry and upset?
Angry and upset and determined. The United States Congress can keep Roe versus Wade the law of the land. They just need to do it.
I've never seen you so angry. You seem to be...
This is what the Republicans have been working toward this day for decades. They have been out there plotting, carefully cultivating these Supreme Court justices so they could have a majority on the bench who would accomplish something that the majority of Americans do not want. 69% of people across this country, red states and blue states, old people and young people, want Roe versus Wade to maintain as the law of the land. We need to do that. And we have a right. Extremists, we've heard enough from the extremists. And we're tired of it. Thank you.
Senator, does this open the door for other constitutional rights?
Quite boisterous about this. And I mean, Chuck Schumer, a lot of the Democrats have been boisterous in saying that they're going to push for the filibuster to be to be dismantled. Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin have already come out and said that they do not support the dismantling of the filibuster. Joe Biden had he made a statement. President Biden, he made a statement and he said that basically people need to get out and vote so that we can change the makeup of the House and the Senate and so forth, which I do feel like people need to vote. You know, I'm not going to ever take anything away from that. However, we do need to understand that these politicians have a responsibility to carry out what the majority of people want. And like Elizabeth Warren was saying, according to a new Washington Post poll, 54% of Americans think that Roe should be upheld, while only 28% believe that it should be overturned. The 98 pages of this draft that was leaked is filled with a plethora of different cases over the course from the 1700s all the way up into the 1900s. I mean, basically what they're standing on in this document, and I'm going to try to explain this as in layman's terms as best as I can. What they're saying is that it is not a constitutional right to have an abortion. That's at least one of the reasons why they are saying this in this 98-page document, that you do not have the right based on the Constitution to have an abortion. Women don't have that right. They're basically saying that back when the Constitution was written, that was not in there. Of course it wasn't. Of course it wasn't written in there. I mean, women did not even have the right to vote when the Constitution was written. I mean, we were still barefoot and pregnant, standing in somebody's kitchen on dirt floors, begging for an allowance. That's what it wasn't even an allowance back then. I mean, you wouldn't even get that. So I just think that it's egregious for you to say something like that, because the Constitution also has amendments. That's what we do. The Constitution is supposed to be ever changing with amendments. You can't just put everything on this. So they do a lot of arguing in here based on different cases that have passed through the courts over the years. One of the things that stuck out to me in this is that women's rights was not mentioned once in this document. They never said anything about women's rights. It's basically that we need, with Roe v. Wade, with the decision that was made in the case of Roe v. Wade, we take away the rights of the states to determine whether have their own laws based on for abortion, have their own abortion laws. So they're saying that it should be overturned based on that. That's another key factor in it as well, that this takes away the right for states to be able to have their own laws. I just don't understand. So here's another portion of it that I wanted to read to you all. Ordered liberties set limits and defines the boundaries between competing interests. Roe and Casey each struck down a particular balance between interests of women who want abortion and the interest of what they termed potential life. Roe at 852, but the people of the various states may evaluate those interests differently. In some states, voters may believe that abortion rights should be even more intensive than the right that Roe and Casey has recognized. Voters in the states may wish to impose tight restrictions based on their belief that abortion destroys an unborn human being. So basically, like I said, they want to take away the federal law and have each state have their own abortion laws. There was one portion that I read earlier today that really stuck out to me in these 98 pages. And this one really stuck out to me because they wanted to start talking about things changing over the course since the Roe v. Wade decision was made. And this is this portion. Defenders of Roe do not claim any new scientific learning calls for different answers to underlying moral questions, but they do contend that changes in society require the recognition of constitutional right to obtain an abortion. Without the availability of abortion, they maintain people will be inhibited from exercising their freedom to choose the types of relationship they desire, and women will be unable to compete with men in the workplace and in other endeavors. Americans who believe that abortion should be restricted press countervailing arguments about modern developments. They note that the attitudes about pregnancy of an unmarried woman have changed drastically, that federal and state law ban discrimination on the basis of pregnancy, and that leaves on the basis of pregnancy, that leaves for women, and pregnancy and childbirth are guaranteed by law. Sick leave and for pregnancy and childbirth are guaranteed by law in most states. That medical costs associated with pregnancy are covered by insurance or government assistance. And then they go on to list a plethora of ways that this is supposed to be covered. And it's supposed to be covered by the Pregnancy Discrimination Act, the Family Medical Leave Act, the Affordable Care Act, safe haven laws, and things like that. I don't get it, because at the end of the day, what we must understand that although, things have evolved, at the end of the day, one thing is still the same, is that women should have the right to choose what happens with their bodies. A lot of these states are imposing these laws, and they don't have any type of anything in there for people who have been raped, who have been a part of an incestuous relationship, people who, have children and they may not be medically able to carry these children. You know what I mean? They're pregnant and they may not be able to medically carry. One or both of them may die if they continue on with this pregnancy. A lot of these new laws that they're coming up with, they have absolutely nothing for those people. They want you to just have these babies, and then what? You know what I'm saying? They want you to have these babies, and then what? The title of this episode is "Uh-oh, a white woman's mad," and the reason why is titled that is because this is something that Black women have been talking about for a long time, about abortion's rights and how these rights are under attack. We have been talking about this for a long time, and it kind of was like, hey, this is not about us. You know what I mean? But now that this has come down, and abortion rights really could be under fire, the white woman's mad. The white woman is mad about this, and they're definitely going to have to step up to the plate and do something about this. A lot of Black women are saying, hey, this isn't our fight. I don't believe that we should take it to that extreme, but I will say that we're going to have the white women come up and step in front and say, hey, this is not going to go. This is not going to go. We've got to do something about this, because sooner or later, it's going to be taking event. They're going to switch this over, where it's going to go over to same-sex marriages. We're going to be talking about voting rights, anything that has to do with body autonomy and the rights of women and the rights of people. This is definitely going to be something that we're going to be seeing scaling up to the Supreme Court. And what's going to happen? All of these with this decision, if this does happen, we are basically going to see a big change in the United States as we know it. And this is just the beginning of that, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinion. Hillary Clinton, she said it back in 2016, that if Donald Trump is elected president, you could kiss your rights goodbye. And she was 100% right about that. Look at what happened. Donald Trump was president. Every state in the goddamn union almost is trying to pass voting rights, things to infringe on your voting rights. And then you're going to have the LGBTQIA plus community. They are under attack constantly. This is just something that, the white woman is mad, and the white woman needs to get mad, and she needs to stay mad, big baby, 100%. And we need to, if we can, work together to do something about this. And men, you need to step up to the plate too, because at the end of the day, honey, your rights are going to be on the line as well. This is not just about women. This is about all of us as a whole. We have to understand that this is also because the makeup of the United States is changing. The white people are getting angry, and they're getting scared because they think that the white women they're killing the babies. They're not having the babies like they used to. You know what I'm saying? So the makeup of the United States is changing. We don't have enough white people to uphold the white race. You know what I mean? That is a part of all of this. All of this, in my opinion, is all together. You can agree to you can agree to disagree with me, but this is what I believe. The reason why this is so important, and this has been escalating for a long time. And when they got Frumpy Dump in office and he was able to put some SCOTUS in place, they definitely honed in on what they wanted. This has sparked, ever since this draft was released, even before they found out that this was a real deal, this has sparked protests throughout the country.
Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Thank you. Let's give it up for Kamika.
So, I mean, like we see there, a plethora of people. It needs to be men and women getting together so that we could try to do something about this. Voting would be, if it does go through, voting would be one way to try to get rid of the filibuster, to try to get another, to fortify the abortion law federally, get something else passed. We could definitely do that. I just think it's just plain disgusting that that this happened, and the taint sniffers are just all awry. They're so excited because these justices, every single one of them that was appointed by Frumpy Dump, got up there and lied.
Don't have any agenda. I have no agenda to try to overrule Casey. I have an agenda to stick to the rule of law.
As a judge, it is an important precedent of the Supreme Court. By it, I mean Roe v. Wade and Planned Parenthood versus Casey. Been reaffirmed many times.
Roe versus Wade, decided in 1973, is a precedent in the United States Supreme Court. It was reaffirmed in Casey in 1992 and in several other cases. So a good judge will consider it as precedent of the United States Supreme Court, worthy as treatment of precedent like any other.
Roe versus Wade is an important precedent of the Supreme Court. It was decided in 1973. The Supreme Court has reaffirmed the decision. When a decision is challenged and it is reaffirmed, that strengthens its value.
I believe the Constitution protects the right to privacy. And I have no reason or agenda to prejudge the issue.
What would he have done if he'd asked?
Senator, I would have walked out the door. It's not what judges do.
I declare, honey, a lie and a truth ain't never been in none of y'all. And you know, I want to say this. I want to add this really quick. If they were so quick to launch an investigation to find out where the source of this leak came from, then why can't they quickly launch an investigation into Clarence Thomas and his musty ass wife? I declare, honey, what a disgrace. If you can quickly launch an investigation into this supposed leak, which I'm not saying that it's not a bad thing. You don't need anybody leaking things from the Supreme Court. However, that if you're going to take the same stance on that, then you need to take, if you're going to take that stance on that, then you need to take the same stance when it comes down to Clarence Thomas and him and his wife conversing, trying to keep Frumpy Dump in office. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So players, the only thing that we can do is encourage people to vote, to flip some of these House seats, especially the Senate, because you got to get out and vote, honey. You got to get out and vote and support candidates that support causes that are important to you. Don't just support them because they're Frumpy Dump taint sniffers. You know, you got to listen to what they say when they have these debates and stuff like that. You need to listen to the way they're answering these questions. You need to see what they have stood behind. What have they been standing behind? What have they been campaigning for? Ask them these questions. You can call their offices. If they're running for your district for a House seat or a Senate seat, you can call their office and ask, what's your stance on this? I really need to know before I cast my vote for you. You know, you need to know these people before you vote for them, honey, because if you don't, this is the type of shit that happens. Like in Oklahoma, I believe this was yesterday, Oklahoma governor signs Texas-style abortion ban into law. These are things that are being done at a state level. If this does happen where Roe v. Wade is overturned, abortions will be immediately illegal in at least 13 states, and Oklahoma just added itself to that because the Oklahoma Republican Governor Kevin Stent signed a Texas-style abortion ban on Tuesday that prohibits abortions after about 6 weeks of pregnancy. He said he was very proud to sign the bill, and the law goes into effect immediately. And the new law prohibits abortion once cardiac activity can be detected in an embryo, which experts say is roughly 6 weeks into pregnancy, before many women know they are even pregnant. I didn't even find out I was pregnant with Deanna until I was 7 weeks. A similar bill approved in Texas last year, led by a dramatic reduction in the number of abortions, led to a dramatic reduction in the number of abortions performed in that state. So, and this law will also allow private citizens to sue abortion providers or anyone who helps a woman obtain an abortion for up to $10,000. And this will go into law because the U.S. Supreme Court allowed the mechanism to remain in place. Other Republican-led states are seeking to copy this abortion ban. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So the only thing I can tell you, honey, is to get out and vote, protest if you can, make your voices heard, talk about what means a lot to you. I made a video about what means a lot to me, and it's the cost of having a child. You know what I mean? It's really a hefty cost. That definitely means a lot to me, and something that I wasn't aware of, you know, that I would have to fork out so much money to be able to even have a child. But that's the lay of the land, honey. And I'm pretty sure it's even worse now than what it was 3 years ago. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Baby, we moving right along here. Get ready for the tea report. So there is new audio. Kevin McCarthy. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So there's new audio that has leaked of Kevin McCarthy speaking on the telephone on January 8th, 2021, right after a couple of days after January 6th. And he was talking to an aide on the phone. And baby, it gets a little bit, baby, let me tell you, honey, Kevin McCarthy had a lot to say. Apparently, he was still seething after what happened on January 6th.
Yeah. Look, what the president did is atrocious and totally wrong. From the standpoint, we're 12 days away. I mean, the one point I'd make with Biden, if you have an impeachment and you're stuck sitting in the Senate, and he needs cabinet members, he's got Secretary of Defense, he's got a lot of things that he's got to have moving. And if you think from a perspective, you put everything else away, this country is very, very divided. I mean, I've got people I never thought would be in this type of position that are very sophisticated. They think this thing is going to be different. They're angry. They want to continue the fight. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. The best way, I think, for everybody as Americans moving forward is focus on the future, not the past, trying to bring us together. And I do think the impeachment divides the nation further and continues the fight even greater. That's why I want to reach out to Biden. I wanted the president to meet with Biden, but that's not going to happen. I want to see about us meeting with Biden, sitting down, make a smooth transition, show that, and continue to keep those statements going. So hopefully, I know he's got to talk to Pelosi, but hopefully he calls me today and see if we can start that process. I think would be beneficial to his presidency too. And I actually think he personally would be stronger above it to actually say something to that extent. I want to move the country forward. Why have this? I mean, if they move to impeachment, that means they call us back next week. Their members have it a little easier with proxy, but God, that puts everybody else they'll continue it. They'll protest everybody. And I'm just worried about the security.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I think there's a chance, Kevin, of getting them not to move on impeachment.
I'm trying to do it not from a basis of Republican, just basis of hate. It's not healthy for the nation. You know that, and that's a conversation I want to have with Biden himself. I mean, I used to do breakfast with Biden when he was VP up at his house there. I think he would get all that. I don't know what the stats would think, but we'll see. And let me ask you, what were you hearing about the call? I had a couple of Dems call me right now while I'm on this call, so I didn't get any feedback yet.
Yeah, just that they're discussing it. It seems like there's definitely, obviously, anger on their side, but also division strategically on what to do. You know, I think the options that have been cited by the Democrats so far are the 25th Amendment, which is not exactly an elegant solution here.
That takes too long, too. It could go back to the House, right?
Yeah, correct. If the president were to submit a letter overruling the cabinet and the vice president, it's a 2/3 vote in the House and Senate to overrule the president. So it's kind of inartful. Obviously, impeachment has been discussed, and then I think they want him to resign, which I don't see happening either. But members are talking about it, and we'll keep you posted on what we're hearing. But certainly, I would say it's possible there are votes in the House next week.
Oh, Kevin. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So they were discussing what to do with Frumpy Dump after the insurrection. And as you heard, Liz Cheney was on the phone. Now, look, I can't say that Liz Cheney was the one that leaked these phone calls to those two guys that's writing the book, but I'm going to say it's looking quite sus because Liz Cheney is the only one that's got a bone to pick with Kevin McCarthy. And if she did do it, who could blame her? Because Kevin McCarthy then threw her up under the bus all the way around the corner and up and to the left. When she decided she was going to be a part of the January 6th Select Committee to make it bipartisan, Kevin McCarthy talked about her like a dog. So if she's the one that's leaking this stuff to these writers and possibly got paid for it, baby, line your pockets. Do what you got to do because Kevin McCarthy deserved it. Every last one of the Republicans, I will never forget that night looking at them when they were on the House floor, the senators anyway, when they came back to complete the vote, and all of them were completely upset. They were seething. Their lives were on the line, honey, and they were 38 hot about the situation. They come back a couple of days later and they like cowering puppies because Frumpy Dump done got on there and got on Twitter and done said this and that, and they all like cowering puppies, and the whole Frumpy Dump tank sniffing crowd is crowding around Frumpy Dump. So they were all calmed down by then. They weren't as upset. They didn't feel like Frumpy Dump needed to be punished. But right after that shit happened, they were seething. I believe 100% that if they had came back to the House and decided to vote that night on whether to impeach Frumpy Dump, let's say if they could have done something like that hypothetically, because that obviously that couldn't have been done. But just think if they had came back to the House and the Senate and decided to vote on Frumpy Dump being impeached that night, baby, his ass would have got impeached immediately because they were all hot about it. It was too fresh. It was fresh in that moment in time. But baby, once the sniffers got a hold of it, they started feeling sorry for them and all this kind of stuff. And then Frumpy Dump, and baby, it just all went out the window. I don't feel sorry for Kevin McCarthy, but it seems like the Republicans are embracing him, even though he has slighted Frumpy Dump in the days after the insurrection. And they probably all did it. They probably were all throwing Frumpy Dump under the bus, but they just wasn't recorded because a lot of them were upset, honey. So that might be why they giving a little Midas touch to Kevin McCarthy in this instance. But the Frumpy Dump tank sniffers that are on the ground, they're not. They talk about Kevin McCarthy like a dog. They call him a traitor, a piece of shit, all kind of stuff. And I'm going to concur with them, not because of that, because he was actually on the right track when he was thinking this way. He should have stayed in this way, but he done went completely left, went down the Frumpy Dump tank sniffing hole, and he'll never be able to get out now. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. And also he wants to keep, just in case the House was to flip, he wants to be the majority leader, but which it may happen and it may not. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a 40% chance of it happen, honey. Let's go ahead and switch this up. But that's what's going on with Kevin McCarthy. He done betrayed his betrayal of Frumpy Dump has been leaked out again. And the Frumpy Dump tank sniffers are upset. I declare, honey, I love it when they're upset. All right, players. So we're going to kind of slow it down a little bit, and we're going to talk about the Tulsa massacre lawsuit. There's a lawsuit that's taking place for reparations for some survivors of the Black Wall Street massacre. So today, the 3 lone survivors, and their names are, excuse me, this is on May 2nd. I'm sorry. The 3 lone survivors is Leslie Benefield, Viola Fletcher, and Hughes Van Ellis. This lawsuit was actually ordered by a judge to proceed. Tulsa County District Judge Carolyn Wall rejected motions by the defendants, which included the city of Tulsa, to dismiss the case. So this case will proceed. The lawsuit seeks financial and other reparations, including a 99-year tax holiday for Tulsa residents who are descendants of victims of the massacre in the North Tulsa neighborhood of Greenwood. It's estimated that as many as 300 people died during Black Wall Street. So there are some descendants. So Leslie Benefield survived the massacre as a small child and is a descendant of the owner of the Stratford Hotel. At the time of the massacre, the largest Black-owned hotel in the U.S. And it was nicknamed the Black. Of course, in the city, it was nicknamed the Black Wall Street. So, yeah, that happened, and I think that is a good thing. I think it is an absolutely wonderful thing. If you don't know what happened during the Tulsa massacre, I'm going to suggest that you look that up and check that out. Over 300 people died. That happened in 1921. That happened on May 30th of 1921. Over 300 people died. It started over some bullshit, and white people looted and tore up a whole neighborhood that was thriving, and it was all Black owned. It was wonderful, and they tore up a whole neighborhood, and that neighborhood was never able. That little town city was never able to recover from that. So I think that is a good thing, and I hope that this lawsuit proceeds, and I hope that they prevail. I can't even believe the city would try to dismiss the lawsuit, but of course they're going to try to dismiss it because they don't want to pay. I declare, honey, what a disgrace, but I'm glad that the district judge saw fit to let this lawsuit proceed. Now, let's move on to some more tea, honey. So, Frumpy Dump Jr., he had to scurry his ass on down there to the January 6th Select Committee to testify today. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. They said he was down there looking all drunk and stinking and high. And I could guarantee you he was. I bet this is what he was looking like.
Guys, you saw the leak from the Supreme Court, an unprecedented thing. This kind of stuff doesn't happen. I don't know that I'm ever aware of a leak. This is not like Congress where everything leaks. And trust me, I've done enough testimony. Things are leaking during closed door hearings. I get it. The Supreme Court doesn't have leaks. So if there's not a thorough criminal investigation into who leaked privileged documents about a draft decision from the United States Supreme Court, where a small, tiny handful of people have access to it, then we live in a clown show state. We live in a clown show state, folks. For perspective.
We live in a clown show state wherever you and your funky ass daddy is at. I can't even listen no more. That was a whole minute. I couldn't even listen to it, honey. 34 seconds is enough. I could see the coke hanging from his nose hairs. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So he had to scurry his ass on down there today. The select committee indicated that they were interested in Frumpy Dubs Jr. knowledge of his father's push to stop the proceedings on that day. So he met with them. They say he was there for about 6 hours, and they also wanted to talk to him about the text messages between him and Mark Meadows. Now, I'm pretty sure Frumpy Dump Jr. really didn't answer any of their questions. I would be very interested to see. Like they said, now see, what's pissing me off, because Benny Thompson said that some of these questionings were going to be made public, like they were going to do them live. Where are they? And how long is this shit going to take? Because I'm ready for y'all to get down to the nitty gritty. Y'all ain't arrested nobody. Ain't shit happened. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. And when is Musty Marjorie and Lauren Bobblehead and Meathead Manny going to come down there? Especially Musty Marjorie. Why are y'all skirting and pussyfooting around the issue? Y'all just heard Musty Marjorie testify just a couple of weeks ago, and you ain't brought her down there to testify before y'all. Why she ain't down there answering no questions about the stuff that she was doing the day before January 6th? She should be answering some questions. Come on, Benny Thompson, Liz Cheney, I'm going to need y'all to get it together. And I'm going to need y'all to get it together expeditiously. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So he was, so Frumpy Dump Jr. was down there. I'm pretty sure that he was high as a Georgia pine while he was down there. But hey, we'll find out, I guess, when the official report comes out of what actually happened when he was questioned. Get ready for the next T report. What a blast from the past, honey. Derek Chauvin. So the judge approves Derek Chauvin plea deal for violating George Floyd's rights. Okay. A federal judge today accepted the plea deal that will sentence former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin to between 20 to 25 years in prison for violating the rights of George Floyd. Chauvin is already serving a 22.5-year sentence for George Floyd's murder. And last month he asked for the state appeals court to overturn his conviction, but they haven't ruled on that yet. So Derek Chauvin is facing 20 to 25 years in prison, in federal prison, for violating the rights of George Floyd, which is just a good thing. The family is pleased with this, with the plea deal. They're actually, I was worried that they were going to be upset about it, but they are not upset about it. They actually support this. And Ben Crump actually made a statement, and he said that they must keep marching. They are happy with this, but they must keep marching. They must keep fighting against injustice. We must do this for George to ensure that his one life and shocking death will change the future for countless others. So they were, as long as they were okay with it, I am okay with it. George Floyd brother said that it's a good day for justice. So hopefully, he'll get the full 25 years, and Derek Chauvin will sit and rot behind bars, and we'll never have to see his musty stinking ass again. What he did to George Floyd was egregious, and he deserves every single second in jail that his funky ass can get. I declare, honey, what a disgrace, when all you had to do was take your knee off that man's neck, let him up, and do what you're supposed to do as a stand-up police officer. But of course, you a demented, sick freak, and that's what you decided to do. Let's revisit Melanin Gaia again.
At Melanin Gaia, we create handmade soaps made with all natural ingredients that are great for our skin. Our soaps are made with skin-nourishing ingredients like coconut oil, shea butter, and other plant-based oils. We make soaps with ingredients that you can pronounce. All of our products can be found at www.melaningaia.com. We are also here to answer any questions you may have about our products. So head on over to www.melaningaia.com and place your order today. We restock our soaps on the second and last Tuesday of every month. You can also sign up for updates on our website as well. Again, that is www.melaningaia.com.
I was just vibing, y'all. I know y'all seen me on the side. Okay, so make sure you guys go and support Melanin Gaia, www.melaningaia, that's MELANINGAIA, Gaia.com, Melanin Gaia, where she has some wonderful soap and some other things that she uses, all natural ingredients. If you are on TikTok or Instagram, go and give her a follow. That's Melanin Gaia on both of those accounts. Ebony is absolutely wonderful. I really like Ebony. She is great. So players, we coming down to the end of the show. You know, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I was having a hard time filling this show up today because everything has been about the Supreme Court. Everything has really been about the Supreme Court, the Roe V Wade thing. It has really been about that. And I was having some issues filling this show up. I was like, what am I going to do? But I was able to find y'all tonight. I was able to find it, y'all. It's time for a brand new riveting episode of Players. It's time for another riveting episode of Play Stupid Games, Win Stupid Prizes. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So imagine that you are a Republican in a frumpy dump led district and you lose to a Democrat. Baby, when I tell you he is the laughing stock of the Republican Party at this point, and I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So this is Robert Regan, and he was pushing to decertify the election for frumpy dump. He was really on the frumpy dump taint sniffing train. And everybody thought that he was going to win this district because he ran in an area where Frumpy Dump led in the district by 16 points, and he was actually endorsed by Frumpy Dump. But you know what he did? He fucked up the church's money because he brought his stinking ass on there, and he said this.
We're a year after the election. We're a year after, guys. It's too late. It's too late. Sorry. We lost.
Yeah, I had that same attitude as a parent of three daughters. Election integrity bills.
You should have fought already. You should have fought already.
All of us are talking at the same time.
Exactly.
So with 6 people.
Like, having three daughters, and I tell my daughters, well, if rape is inevitable, you should just lie back and enjoy it. So that's not how we roll. That's not how I won this election. We go right at it. And so, what we did, we're Goliath right now. We had David and Goliath. We knocked Goliath.
You heard him. Did you hear what he said? Having three daughters, I tell my daughters, if grape is inevitable, you should just lay back and enjoy it. Ho, Robert. Now, I know the GQP are perverts, but they're damn sure not going to say something like that out in public and say it and embrace it and vote for your ass. So guess what? His ass lost the election, and he lost it to a Democrat. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Robert, you nasty son of a bitch. Enjoy your stupid prize. I hope that y'all enjoyed that, players. I hope y'all enjoyed this brand new episode of The Real Tea with Double D. I really enjoyed recording it with you all. If you all would like to to join me every Wednesday at 10 o'clock Central Time right here on YouTube and Facebook to record this live, I would really appreciate it. If you all would like to sponsor an episode of The Real Tea with Double D, if you're selling a product, you have a small business, make sure that you reach out to me, because I could definitely get you on the show to sponsor an episode. And if you would like to support the Black Accurate News and Double D Mother, you can always subscribe here on Facebook. You can purchase merch, or you can donate to my Cash App or Venmo. I really appreciate that. Thank you all for joining me. I really hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Make sure you subscribe if you're on Facebook, like if you're on Facebook and YouTube. And I will see you all later next week. Take care of yourselves. Good night.
Thanks for listening to The Real Tea with Double D. Remember to support by following on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And subscribe to the